Hi there, Melissa. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's certainly a challenging time for everyone, and certainly when it comes to mortgages, things like deferred mortgage payments, things like that, be it for homeowners, for people looking to buy a home. So I really thank you for coming today and answering some questions for us. How are you
Thank you so
doing?
much for having me.
Yeah,
Thank
how
you
are
so
you
much for
doing?
having me, Josie. It's so nice to see your face.
We do what we can, and this kind of technology has been really, really wonderful. So I'm glad that we could take advantage and get you to answer some of these questions. So let's first talk about homeowners with an existing mortgage that might be struggling to make their payments. I've had a lot of people ask me about deferring mortgage payments. Is this a good idea or not?
I would say right now that's the topic of deferring payments is on a ton of Canadians' minds. Currently, most institutions are allowing clients to defer up to 6 months worth of their mortgage payment to help provide some short-term relief. The reality is clients are experiencing job interruption, layoffs, reduced hours, and with that comes reduced pay. The client is at all concerned about how they're going to pay their current mortgage. The deferral option can be a good short-term solution. Deferring payments, the reduced income you can turn around and use for things like groceries and insurance and things that you can't stop or avoid. It's important to understand the cost, though, of deferring the payments and how it will impact your overall plan when it comes to your mortgage. Interest will continue to accrue, and it will add additional time onto the overall amortization of your mortgage. While there is a bigger picture cost to the deferrals, the short-term cash flow savings for some clients is absolutely worth it. Everyone's financial situation is unique, and I encourage homeowners not to be afraid to have a conversation with your institution or your mortgage holder and review if the deferrals are right for you. Regardless of where your mortgage is, RBC is welcoming an opportunity to chat with clients and community members so that we can provide some advice and guidance during really uncertain times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the key, as you said, just have the conversation. I know, full disclosure, I have my mortgage with RBC, and one of the first people I called was you because I wanted to see what my options were. I didn't know what we were going to do. And together you came up with an awesome strategy that just took that off my worry list. And so I think that, as you said, because obviously the thing you don't want to do is just stop paying your mortgage payments. You need to talk to someone, right?
Right. If you're going to look at relief options, you want to take advantage of them properly versus just choosing not to pay something. At the end of the day, that's when people will be hurt in the long run when it comes to their credit rating.
Right. Now that's a big one. That is the question I get asked, and I've had many debates about this. So please set the record straight. Is deferring your mortgage payments going to affect your credit score?
So what I will tell you is taking advantage of the mortgage deferral is an approved program, so it will not be classified as a late payment. Now, that being said, the most important thing to ensure is that you've had this request taken care of by your mortgage holder or your mortgage provider. Deferring a payment doesn't mean you just stop having available funds in your account for a payment to clear. At your request, your institution will properly record the deferral on the system and physically stop trying to take a payment. The credit bureaus have indicated that they're working to ensure Canadians are not negatively impacted by COVID-19, where they opt to defer those payments. So you won't see an impact to your score directly related to that deferral. In addition, TransUnion's even set up this specialty task force to continue to monitor the situation because things are evolving and changing so quickly. I would say
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, you and I both know it's a day-to-day, week to not even week to week. It really is a day-to-day situation, both when it comes to mortgage lending and here certainly in real estate. We're just trying to. That's why I wanted to have you on, is just to try and get the most up-to-date information to this date. I mean, I should let people know we are April 25th today. So this information here is good up until today. Who knows what will be there next week? But this is the information we have right now. So I appreciate that. So what about other options? Are there other options that people can think of, or that you can talk to, other than deferring mortgage payments?
there's so many options for people to explore right now. Mortgage comes to mind first because it's where people have their largest asset attached to, where they're provided shelter with. But at the end of the day, there's options for things beyond your mortgage. So there's currently personal loan payment deferral plans. There are personal line of credit payment deferral plans, car loan deferral plans. credit card payments, and in some cases, interest rates on credit cards are also being reduced. And I can speak on behalf of RBC and say that right now, RBC has reduced their interest rates on their credit card by 50% for those clients who are currently taking advantage of the deferred payment option. So from that standpoint, it can provide some additional relief there too. And then when you look at our business and commercial clients, there's options for payment deferrals for them as well, and several specialty loan programs that are out there. And that's just on the debt repayment side.
Right. And that's one thing to think about too. Yeah, it's commercial and business, because there's, heaven knows, there's so many small businesses who are being affected by that. The government's been talking about working with landlords to reduce commercial leases, things like that. So everyone's kind of working together to try and, you know, ease the pain a little bit through this and make things a little easier. So again, I appreciate your update on this. One thing I know at the beginning, I mean, I felt very lucky to be able to reach out to you, but I know for a lot of people, it's not so easy. We can say, yes, pick up the phone, contact your lender, talk to somebody. I know that can be a difficult thing at the best of times, but when it's hard to get a hold of somebody, and I know certain people have been complaining to me that it's hard to get a hold of somebody, what's the best way to reach you guys?
I would say at the beginning, there were definitely some kinks or bumps in the road when it comes to timing through our contact center. Obviously, we didn't go to sleep the night before thinking that, you know, on March, whatever date it was, this was all going to come fast and furious. So our contact centers definitely had some bumps in the road. I'm pleased to say that right now, the wait times on the call center have definitely improved. We've allocated even more resources to be able to help with that. And branches still continue to be open. You're going to get a few questions at the door before you walk in, but we are an essential service and it's important that we're there and available. So you are able to visit a branch, and then our online capabilities have definitely improved. So that's an entire section when you go to rbc.com around COVID relief. There's chat boxes there, frequently asked questions, and it can actually provide you with contact information right on our website to get in touch with somebody like myself who has a direct line, and you're not waiting on anything for a contact center.
That's fantastic. So the key is there's no reason not to reach out. Be proactive, have the conversation. Don't stick your head in the sand and just wait till this all goes away and then you end up with a credit mess. There are strategies in place. So that's fantastic. Let's turn our attention now to home buyers for a little bit. Being from the real estate world, I'm dealing with that a lot. So looking at home buyers and financing. Now, the first situation is people who have already bought a home, they've firmed up on their deal. So that means it's a firm deal and they're just waiting for the home to close, but maybe they had secured financing in order to firm up on that deal. Should they be concerned? Are they still going to be able to close and get the mortgages that they've been approved for?
Well, the good news is there are Canadians still buying and selling homes and closing on real estate. I would say there's two situations when it comes to a client who's physically already purchased but hasn't necessarily closed yet. I can say confidently, if you have a firm approval with RBC, that all of our clients are still closing. At RBC, once we've provided our clients with a firm approval, we do not recheck their credit. We do not ask for additional documentation confirming employment, nor do we revisit a property valuation. So in this case, you absolutely shouldn't be worried. We will fund your financing for your upcoming closing date. The closing process looks slightly different right now as we're doing virtual document signing and electronically transferring funds. However, for RBC, it is absolutely business as usual for our closings. If you're working outside of RBC, I can only speak to our policies and processes here, but I would encourage you to review your mortgage document. Not all mortgage lenders, banks, and brokers work the exact same way, and not all provide firm approvals. By no means is this about scaring people. It's about being proactive and knowing the information. Find out if you have a firm approval or if your approval had any clauses or conditions attached. You'd rather revisit your file now than a day or two before closing. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or if there's a way that we can help provide a firm approval with RBC for you.
There you go. Again, knowledge is power, right? And it's all about being proactive. The answers are out there, or if they're not, there's somebody there who can work with you to strategize and figure things out rather than be surprised. We don't need any more surprises in this challenging time. So let's minimize the surprises. Okay, so what about buyers who are out there looking? I'm working with buyers now. They've been pre-approved. They're out there looking. You find something, but they still need to include a financing condition because they have been pre-approved, but the home they're purchasing may still need to be approved by the bank. So uh, the concern there is usually we have a few days or 5 to 7 business days to get financing approved. Are there delays at this point? Should be worrying about that? What are the strategies there in terms of offering on houses?
Well, I would say from a pre-approval standpoint, there's absolutely still value in completing pre-approval. If anything, it's more important now than ever. There is nothing worse than falling in love with a home and then being disappointed that you can't afford it, or vice versa. You don't even look at something because you assume you can't afford it. So at RBC, we're really encouraging clients who are thinking about purchasing to virtually meet with us and conduct a pre-approval. Whether or not you had a pre-approval pre-COVID-19 or after, our advice always remains include that financing condition in your offer to purchase. Your pre-approval is going to give you that price range. However, the firm approval doesn't happen until you found the property and placed an offer. We want to ensure your financial situation is still the same and that the property you found is assessed. I'm happy to say from a timing perspective, once again, RBC is business as usual. We have not increased our turnaround times on firm approvals, and we found ways to work with our appraisers. We're supporting the social distancing guide recommendations from Health Canada and the government, and currently our appraisers are working with agents like yourself and current homeowners to leverage technology versus a face-to-face inspection. So while our new normal of interacting with clients is definitely different, we are actively in the business of helping clients finance their purchases. And so we're still open for business.
That's good to know. And I mean, whether, as you said, if you're a buyer who already has a pre-approval, there's no reason why you can't be out looking because you can still get that final financing condition approval. Or if you're a buyer who was thinking about it, because I'm talking to a lot of buyers who are saying, we're just going to wait. We're just going to hold now until this all blows over.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to them, talk to your lender. There's nothing that would stop you right now from just talking to your lender, get to know your situation, get a pre-approval in place. If this goes longer and you need to revisit that, that's fine, but there's nothing to be, there's no harm in getting that pre-approval, or not even that there's no harm, there's an advantage, wouldn't you say?
100%. And the short answer really is advice and conversations are free. It's not costing you anything to do that. So we're here, we're open for business, and we sometimes have a little bit, are finding our clients are having a little bit more time on their hands right now because their work days look a little bit differently. So why not spend 20 or 30 minutes having a conversation about what financing looks like, what a pre-approval is, and how we can help get you prepared so that the minute you're ready to go out there and shop, you're good to go.
Yeah. And from everyone I'm talking to, we are going to see a spike in activity once we do, get past this. And I think the activity is going to be pretty vigorous. So I'm encouraging buyers and sellers to get ahead of the curve and make sure they're prepared when, as we say, the lights do come back on. So the final thing and on everyone's minds is, what about mortgage rates? What's happening with mortgage rates? I know you don't have a crystal ball, none of us do, but what can you tell us about mortgage rates?
I guess that's where I would say there's definitely some silver lining in all of this right now when it comes to rates. As of today, rates continue to remain low and make it super attractive for those who are in the position to borrow and buy. Now, as for whether or not they will stay low, that's definitely the hope. There's still a level of volatility within the marketplace and an element of market uncertainty. So it makes the future a little bit harder to predict. But as of today, we're in a great position to borrow.
Well, that's good news. And going forward, any final words of advice? Leave us on a positive note, Melissa, and make us all feel fantastic going forward, that we're all going to be in wonderful financial shape. We're all going to get through this and everything's going to be fine.
I would say the initial shock and awe of all of this is starting to subside. Overall, it feels as though people's outlook is getting really positive. For the most part, us as Canadians are so fortunate to live in a country where there is an abundance of resources available for us to explore. I wish we all had a crystal ball, and I'm still looking for mine. I haven't quite found it yet. But I truly believe we will come out of this stronger humans than we were yesterday. Our appreciation for our health and wellness will hopefully increase. We probably won't take for granted those simple luxuries that we may have in the past. I know for me, I will never complain about running errands again. I'd love to do that right now. And while we all might need a break from our spouses, partners, kids, currently living under our roof right now, our love for seeing our family and friends and coworkers will never be greater. And as we work through this, it seems like we can't work on getting back to normal. We need to figure out together what the new normal looks like. And regardless of what the new normal is, I wholeheartedly believe Canadians will still need to own homes. They will still need to buy homes. They will still need to sell homes. And they're going to still need experts like yourself as a realtor and myself as an RBC mortgage specialist to help navigate through this.
Well, my goodness, the better words not spoken. That is such a wonderful note to leave us on, Melissa. Thank you so much again for your time. I'm going to make sure that obviously that I have all the contact information so people can get a hold of you. You're always a fantastic resource. So thanks so much. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the real world soon.
Thanks, Josie. Have a great day.
Bye.